our next business owner. She's a sophomore at Baton Rouge Magnet High School. She's a member of the debate team. She enjoys baking and acting. She played Antonia in Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, and she is the founder of Backstage. Please welcome Channing Hall.
So a few years ago, I found myself working for a rather tragic production of Macbeth, where everything was going fine until opening night. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the show, there's a scene where Macbeth kills the king, and then afterwards he laments about the blood on his hands. Then he's supposed to come backstage and have the blood cleaned off. But on opening night, we could not find the wet wipes anywhere. And needless to say, red handprints can still be found in that theater to this day. My product aims to solve that issue. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Channing Hall, and I'm the CEO and founder of Backstage. Backstage is an all-in-one comprehensive app that allows directors to better communicate with their cast and crew. It functions like many other project management tools, but what sets Backstage apart is its focus on theater. Through the app, directors will be able to upload schedules and checklists and send reminders to various members of the cast and crew. So my target audience for the app is mainly directors of school and community theaters, as these are usually the most unorganized. I hope to advertise through theater-related paraphernalia like playbills and also a lot through social media. So now on to the most important part, the financials. So my ask today is pretty pricey, just upwards of $7,300, and that's because app development can get really expensive. With the acquired funds, I hope to hire a freelance app designer and even teach myself some basic code. I also hope to use the funds to pay for some advertising. So the app is based around a freemium model, the premium model costing $15 a month or $180 a year. And the reason why it's so expensive is because there's really only one person paying for the app. The way it works is that everyone who's part of a show will download the app on their phone, but then only the director will have to pay to use the service. Afterwards, he'll be given a code that he can then give out to members of the cast and crew so they can join the show, and then they'll receive the reminds, the emails, all of the notifications through the app once they're added to the show using the code provided to the director after they've paid for the service. So that's why the app is so expensive, because there's only one main person who's actually paying for it. So some of our main goals are to have an MVP on the market by the end of May, and to have a fully functioning iOS and Android app out there by September. And then some of our goals sales-wise, so we hope to sell one a month after we release the MVP, but to bump that up towards the end of the year after we've released the fully functional apps. Thank you for your consideration of Backstage, and I hope you invest.
I was going to ask what happened to the blood.
Oh, it's still there.
It was a very good presentation. The questions I would have, why do you have a monthly charge? Is this an app that is going to be updated regularly? What's the service that you provide on a monthly basis?
Yes, sir. So the reason why we have a monthly charge is because there will be constant updates to the app, and also because just breaking it down monthly instead of like having like a charge every time you do a show, it's just easier for directors to like set it up and pay that way. The plan is that they enter their credit card information once and then forget, and so we keep charging them instead of having them pay for every show.
Channing, what do Hollywood production artists use? I mean, is there something that is out there today that's a competitor? I'm not aware of anything.
So the thing with like bigger scale theater and productions is that there are millions of dollars on the line, whereas at the local level it's more like hundreds or sometimes tens. So that reason why community and school theaters are oftentimes so unorganized is because there's not as much at stake, even though they do have the capital to pay for this. Like a Baton Rouge High show can make $500, so I think they have sufficient capital to pay for this, but they're not as high stake, so there's a lot more incentive in like the bigger scale to actually come through.
And what are some of the features that you might have in your app that'll help solve those problems that you're seeing?
So, as I mentioned earlier, the app would have things, so the directors would be able to upload things like schedules and checklists that are, that the crew members would have to go through in order to just keep everyone on track. So a lot of other project management tools like Monday, they just provide a better service or way to organize information, which I find that a lot of school and community theaters are lacking. And so I thought that Backstage would be able to provide a more sufficient network or system for people to keep track of theater-related events. Cool. Thank you.